Lads, the Seattle Storm are screwed. They are absolutely
Scandals, broken trust, and a legacy in peril. What's happening to the Seattle Storm? Once a powerhouse of the WNBA under legends like Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson, the team now faces internal turmoil, threatening its reputation built on skill, resilience, and championship triumphs. Allegations of harassment and bullying have cast a dark shadow over the Seattle Storm, once revered for its leadership under head coach Noel Quinn. Multiple players have come forward, sparking an investigation that not only threatens the team's reputation, but also challenges the way professional teams handle internal conflicts.
It's not looking good for the Storm, and it's really not looking good for WNBA or the WNBA Players Association. So it says here, the Storm are being investigated for alleged player mistreatment.
This isn't just another sports controversy, it's a seismic shift with the potential to reverberate across the WNBA, with stars like Nneka Ogwumike taking on leadership roles and Caitlin Clark, who faced her own tensions with the Storm, emerging as a new force. The stakes are higher than ever. Will this investigation expose deeper issues within the team's structure, or could it prompt a complete overhaul and a fresh start? As whispers grow louder, could these revelations spark a ripple effect that reshapes the entire league? The future of the Storm and the WNBA hangs in the balance.
More and more rumors that Noel Quinn and her coaches were allegedly abusive towards staff and players alike, threatened a player, creating a hostile environment for players, caused division amongst players, called players slurs, B-word, dumb, and all kinds of other abusive terms. Here was so Brad, the president, take us out.
The Seattle Storm, long celebrated for its strength, resilience, and on-court victories, now finds itself under an unrelenting spotlight for reasons far removed from basketball. The public's attention shifted dramatically when several players came forward, detailing troubling experiences of alleged harassment and bullying within the coaching staff. These allegations, primarily concerning game and practice performances, sent shockwaves through the WNBA and sparked a formal investigation that's now been underway for over 2 weeks. At the center of this storm is head coach Noel Quinn, whose decorated career as both a player and coach is now under intense scrutiny. The law firm leading the investigation has unveiled a troubling series of claims. Players have described practices where intense confrontations blurred the line between striving for excellence and fostering a toxic environment. Reports suggest that game day pressures became so severe that some athletes felt personally targeted, creating a climate of fear and tension. This controversy isn't solely about the actions of one leader. It's a reflection of the broader team dynamic and how internal conflicts were managed, or not managed, by the Storm's leadership. The investigation has raised critical questions. What does it reveal about the culture within the team when those entrusted to lead are accused of fostering harm? And how did management allow these issues to escalate to such a point? As the investigation continues, the answers may forever alter the Storm's legacy and the WNBA's approach to team management.
Confirm with certainty the situation is not good. Also heard there are a few layers to it. We're knowing the Storm organization doesn't receive a lot of scrutiny by fans and media, which contributed to years of malpractice being covered up.
The ongoing investigation into the Seattle Storm has far-reaching implications, not just for the team, but for the entire WNBA. The WNBPA is now navigating a delicate situation, balancing player support with internal scrutiny. The tension within the team didn't develop overnight. The departure of franchise icons like Sue Bird and Breanna Stewart created a leadership vacuum, leaving younger players struggling to voice concerns. This allowed issues to fester unchecked, leading to a breakdown in team unity. The result was a team that appeared solid but was, in reality, fractured behind the scenes. As the investigation continues, the WNBA faces critical questions about leadership, accountability, and the future of the league's integrity.
Hearing certain players were also involved in this coach's clique, and that a front office executive was in the know, and that one player almost came to blows with a coach. So basically, I don't know who this person is, but the fact is that obviously this is now going to be an investigation.
Compounding the issue, reports have revealed that the investigation was prompted by multiple players' accounts, not just one or two. This widespread concern signals that these were not isolated grievances, but part of a deeper, more troubling trend within the team culture. As details emerge, questions about accountability are intensifying. Who within the hierarchy knew about these issues, and why weren't they addressed sooner? The ripple effects could redefine not only how the Seattle Storm operates, but also how the WNBA as a whole handles player welfare. As the investigation unfolds, it raises the question, how deep do these problems go? Will the Storm find redemption or face lasting damage that reshapes their legacy?
As here, per multiple sources, WNBA president Nneka Nwumike was excluded from players-only meetings due to a fear of partiality to the coaching staff. Skylar Diggins led several outbursts laced with vulgarity directed at teammates.
When leadership falters, cracks begin to show, and for the Seattle Storm, those cracks have turned into fault lines. The scrutiny on head coach Noel Quinn naturally extended to the team's leadership, both on and off the court. Nneka Nwumike, a powerhouse in the WNBA and president of the Women's National Basketball Players Association, WNBA-PA, found herself walking a tightrope. While her dual role as a player on the Storm and leader of the WNBPA seemed like a perfect fit, the dynamics quickly became complicated and, at times, contentious. Reports surfaced that players grew wary of discussing their concerns freely with Nneka present. This apprehension stemmed from the perception that she might align more with the coaching staff than the players, a notion that directly contradicted the trust needed in a leader representing the athlete's interests. A significant moment came when news broke about players holding meetings without Nneka Nwumike, highlighting a clear divide within the locker room. Fans interpreted this as a signal that trust and leadership had eroded, even among the team's most respected figures. The optics were damaging. A team once defined by its cohesive spirit was now viewed as fractured, with its most influential players at the center of the storm. It's now clear why the Storm is facing such a difficult crossroads.
It's now clear why the Storm did not achieve success it envisioned at the start of the season. Clear dysfunction and feeling of distrust led to players-only meetings to discuss alleged mistreatment without Nneka Nwumike in attendance due to fear of partiality to the coaching staff. Multiple sources confirmed to Circling Seattle Sports. Central to the allegations, the absent leadership on the court and the sidelines, which has been in question since the departure of franchise cornerstone Sue Bird and Brianna.
Skylar Diggins-Smith, another pivotal figure in the Storm's recent season, contributed her own chapter to the unfolding narrative. Known for her fiery competitiveness, Diggins-Smith's leadership style rubbed some teammates the wrong way. Accounts surfaced of outbursts during practice, often laced with sharp, critical language targeting teammates. At times, these moments exacerbated an already tense atmosphere. This wasn't just leadership. It was divisive. While some teammates respected her passion and drive, others found it challenging to work under such pressure.
Okay, by now I'm sure you've seen Skylar Diggins assault. Caitlin Clark after Indiana blew out Seattle.
Diggins-Smith's moment of infamy peaked during a tense on-court incident with rising star Caitlin Clark. In a high-stakes game where emotions ran rampant, Diggins-Smith's bump on Clark, captured on camera, ignited a firestorm on social media. Fans quickly viewed the incident as symbolic of a veteran player unwilling to make room for the league's future stars. While Clark remained unfazed and focused, the encounter's symbolism was undeniable, a clash between the established guard and the next generation of talent, reflecting the friction within the Storm and the broader WNBA. The season painted a portrait of a team trapped in a cycle of internal and external pressures, struggling to align their ambitions with reality. The Storm needed more than just tactical adjustments. They needed a turning point. Would they find the leadership, unity, and resilience to make a comeback in the next season? Or would this chapter be remembered as the beginning of a downward spiral that would define the team's future?
You bump her, and then you have the audacity to complain about them? Just play ball. You didn't hear Indiana crying when they started off 1-9. They just got up off the mat and started. That's assault.
The Seattle Storm faced a daunting challenge: how to rise from a season marred by controversy, leadership struggles, and an underwhelming playoff performance. The investigation into alleged player mistreatment was still ongoing, but the organization knew proactive measures were essential to regain trust. The question wasn't just about patching the team back together, it was about fundamentally rethinking their approach to leadership, culture, and performance. The off-season became a period of intense reflection and strategic planning. Analysts speculated that changes were inevitable, starting with the coaching staff. Noel Quinn's role as head coach came under significant scrutiny, and discussions about potential replacements or a restructuring of responsibilities grew louder. Would the Storm bring in an outside voice to reinvigorate the team's dynamics, or would they double down on existing leadership in hopes of fostering stability? The team's future hinged on their response to this crucial crossroads.
What I don't get is the Seattle coach here is the one complaining after the game, and Skylar, tears in her eyes, being like, how dare Caitlin embarrass me? How dare they beat us by 30?
The offseason promised to be pivotal, with rumors swirling about possible trades, coaching changes, and a redefined team identity. Fans were left with a mix of hope and skepticism. The Storm needed to act decisively, not only to preserve their legacy, but to set an example for the rest of the league. Would they emerge as a renewed contender, or was the road to recovery steeper than imagined?
Love it. This league doesn't know what to do with Caitlin Clark. They don't know what to do with the Indiana Fever. It's not just her, Aaliyah Boston, Mitchell, Hull. This team is coming together, and Caitlin Clark is loving it. She's laughing at you, Skylar.
While the Seattle Storm grappled with controversy and a crumbling internal structure, the Indiana Fever emerged as a model of resilience and growth. The Fever's recent transformation stood in stark contrast to the disarray in Seattle. It wasn't just their impressive gameplay that caught the league's attention. It was the way they built an organization that valued unity, strong leadership, and a clear vision for the future.
There's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
Under the leadership of President Kelly Krauskopf, who returned to guide the franchise back to prominence, the Indiana Fever demonstrated what intentional and inclusive leadership could achieve. General Manager Amber Cox played a pivotal role, bringing innovative ideas and an unwavering commitment to building a cohesive team. These strategic appointments laid the foundation for an environment where players thrived both individually and collectively. Central to their resurgence was superstar phenom Caitlin Clark, who shattered records in her debut season and infused the team with new energy. But beyond her accolades, it was Clark's approach to the game and her interactions with teammates that truly set the Fever apart, embodying the perfect balance of individual brilliance and a team-first mentality, a balance the Storm had struggled to maintain.
Absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
The Fever's approach wasn't limited to star players. Their entire roster, including key contributors like Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Kelsey Mitchell, thrived in a culture built on support, open communication, and adaptability. This stood in stark contrast to the reports from Seattle, where closed-door meetings and internal friction suggested a breakdown in trust. Fans and analysts quickly recognized the difference. The Fever weren't just winning games, they were building momentum through a combination of raw talent and strategic leadership. Their success showcased what a unified team could achieve, playing for one another and supported by an administration that valued transparency and accountability. The Fever's rise highlighted what the Storm seemed to have lost: a shared vision. While Seattle wrestled with the aftermath of its internal strife and contemplated significant changes, Indiana's steady ascent offered a roadmap for transforming a team's fortunes. The comparison between the two franchises wasn't lost on the WNBA. As the league observed Seattle's turbulence, it simultaneously saw Indiana's commitment to a brighter future. The Fever's success proved that fostering a supportive, collaborative culture could yield not only immediate results, but also sustainable growth for the franchise over the long term.
We're so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
As Seattle faced an uncertain path to redemption, the Indiana Fever stood as an example of what strong leadership and clear vision could achieve. The league was evolving, and the blueprint for success was shifting. The question remained, would the Storm learn from this, or would they continue to struggle in the shadow of teams that had figured it out? The Seattle Storm's season served as a stark reminder of how quickly a team's fortunes can change in professional sports. From internal investigations and leadership conflicts to on-court struggles and mounting public scrutiny, their journey was marked by turbulence and uncertainty. This season's lessons were undeniable. Talent alone is insufficient when a team's foundation is fractured. Trust, unity, and clear communication are crucial elements that can either make or break a team, especially in high-stakes environments.
We are at a point where we have an attractive group, we have a great organization, we can attract a few free agents to come here and bolster and keep us on the path that we're on.
The Indiana Fever's contrasting rise offers a compelling blueprint for what the Storm and any WNBA team can achieve with aligned leadership and a unified approach. The Fever's commitment to collaboration, transparency, and a player-first mentality has turned their potential into tangible progress. It's a case study in the power of strong organizational culture, showing that resilience and forward-thinking leadership can overcome even the most daunting challenges. The broader WNBA landscape is shifting, with increased focus on player empowerment, team culture, and the need for ethical leadership. Seattle's path forward holds implications beyond their franchise, highlighting the dual challenge of maintaining competitive success while aligning with modern expectations of respect and collaboration. How they, and teams in similar predicaments, navigate these complexities will set the tone for the league's next chapter.
Sports, it's a big opportunity to be a part of this rising tide that we're all experiencing. Everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in.
The next season will be a litmus test for Seattle's ability to adapt and grow. Their willingness to confront internal issues and implement meaningful change will determine if they can rise from the turmoil stronger than before. For the league, this journey serves as a critical example of the importance of cohesive leadership and transparent practices. As we look forward, we must keep a watchful eye on Seattle. Will they seize this opportunity to redefine themselves, inspired by the examples set by teams like the Indiana Fever, or will their efforts fall short? One thing is certain, the WNBA is watching, the fans are watching, and the Storm's next steps will be remembered for seasons to come. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.